right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall, chiming in for the second time today. Um, yeah, Jihad, I understand he's trying to dodge a murder charge. Where you been, man? I ain't seen you in a while. Um, I hadn't heard anything lately about him, but I know that they're trying to charge him with attempted murder for suppose they had jumped on somebody and beat him almost to death. But I got to get more into that. That's pretty much all I know about it now. Um, I came on this morning and I told you I'd come back on if I had something else to say. And I told you guys also before that I'm doing okay, man. I just come on real quick to talk about this story I ran across today. I said I wouldn't come on unless I had some breaking news. It's not really breaking news, but it's some serious news. I told you guys that I do that ride share, do a little Uber and Lyft on the side, always hustling, always doing something. And sometimes you get in conversations with passengers, just kicking it around a little bit and, make the trip go a little quicker. Well, this person is working at a grocery store, and I just asked because I know a lot of people, they get bothered by the customers. I know sometimes customers go in the grocery stores and cussing the employees out, and they want top-notch service, out the rude treatment, and so on and so forth. Well, I asked the person, well, do those people ever get on your nerves? And she tells me, no, I don't have time for people to get on my nerves, which is a common response. How you doing, JC? That's a common response. But then I say, why don't they bother you? She say she don't have time because she don't have time to waste. So she goes on to tell me that she was born with a heart problem where it's called heart regurgitation, but there's a scientific name for it. It's where your heart valves don't close properly and it causes the blood to blow back and cause your valves to leak. And that is a situation that can kill you. Well, she said to me that she wasn't supposed to live up to 10 years old. But now she's well over 30, been married 22 years, and she takes every day as a gift. Now, here I am just asking general questions, and that's the last thing I expected her to say, that you said I survived that. Blacked out again another time. What road is that? One day and zoned out. So I look at it like this. I could have easily drove off one of them steep hills they had and been a goner several times. So I kind of look at life in a positive vein myself, but I never expect to run across anybody like that. And it just punched me in the face, and I just wanted to share that. So I asked the question, do you find yourself valuing sports more than they are a whole lot of them together, and like you just deserve with him not having prenup, he's kind of set himself up for a if they want like a share over there with OKC, what's his name? Jokic. He just got Valanciunas out of the Kings. They're loading them and coming out to OKC, man, and Houston. I still don't know if they got enough guns to shoot down a team like OKC. You saw most of those guys folded during the playoffs last year in the first round, and I expect to see the same thing because what's that guy Jalen? Is it Green or the guy on the wing commercial? He didn't show up at all, and I was kind of disappointed in that. So I like to see if he's going to bounce back at all. But Durant will show up some of those holes that they have. But the question is, will they be close enough for Durant to make a difference? It's just like LeBron. You start getting up in age, yeah, you can still play at a high level, but the question is, can you keep up with them young boys? And I think you saw during the series with the Lakers, they just ran out of gas, man. The Lakers, they just couldn't keep up with Minnesota because those young boys just had those fresh legs, and it kind of showed up LeBron a little bit. So I think LeBron, don't need to be a front line player anymore. He can come in and contribute as necessary and take over periodically. But to have him out there and without a whole lot of breaks like they had him, I don't think that's a good recipe for the Lakers. But the question is, will he be with the Lakers? I talked about that this morning. I believe he's going to try to muscle his way out of LA and probably end up with the Knicks. I say the Knicks because that's where his old coach Mike Brown is now. And sometimes in life, how you start is how you finish. Both of them started with each other as head coaches in Cleveland. And I don't know if that's a good thing for Brown or not. But if LeBron does go to New York to be with Brown, then you'll see just how much improvement Brown has made as a coach. I always got the impression that LeBron was running that team, not Mike Brown. When he took over in the Lakers, they had those veteran players there. They were running the show. And now that you got LeBron possibly could go back to New York if they pretty much get him out of get him out of LA, then you may be set up to have the same situation happen to him again. Me personally, I don't think Mike Brown is a championship coach. Not that he don't deserve to get a job. Anybody deserves an opportunity to do something. But for the way the Knicks handled that situation with Thibodeau, this is not an upward move for the Knicks. And I said this when his name first popped up, and then now that he's been hired, everybody on the radio pretty much saying the same thing. They just don't see this as a great improvement for the Knicks. And the question is, if Brown doesn't make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals, which they will have an opportunity to do because, of course, the East is unbalanced right now, and then with the injuries to Jason Tatum, that kind of pushes the Celtics off the block. And the Pacers, they're dismantling slowly. It's very well that the Knicks could wind up back in the Eastern Conference Finals. But if he doesn't make it with this landscape, the question is, will the Knicks fire him or will they keep him to save face? Personally, I think they're going to keep him to save face because the way they handled the Thibodeau situation. But like I said before, Thibodeau, he sailed off into the sunset with $30 million, and he's going to sit back and laugh because, like I said then, they were going to hire somebody, not realizing they were going to try to go after Mike Brown. They were going to hire somebody that was not on his level, and he was going to sit back and laugh. And when that failed, they were going to call Thibodeau back, and he's going to tell him to go straight to hell. That's what I would do. All right. Lex Kimling. LeBron is a perfect example of God-given talent, but no heart. He would have 20 rings if he had Jordan's heart. I don't know, man. If Jordan had such big heart, why wouldn't he have more than 6? Why doesn't he have 11 like Bill Russell? I don't think the heart got anything to do with it. I think who you play with and the time that you play makes all the difference. Who wins these championships? LeBron, he's got a heart. Maybe he doesn't have. I think LeBron is more businessman. He can see things before they develop. And he even said as much. He got an eye for seeing what's going on. And I think that's his biggest trait besides being a great player. But heart, I think Jordan probably does have more heart than he does. But at the same time, what does it matter? He did what he wanted to do. It's like I talked about this morning or the other day. It's all about survival from one day to the next. Their main job is to feed their family. LeBron is said to be a billionaire. So if he's a billionaire, he's feeding the hell out of his family. And he's got championships to boot, so what can we really say about him? Even if he didn't have championship and you got $1 billion, who cares? It's all about taking care of your family. Just like that lady I was telling you about today with the heart regurgitation issues. She's happy as hell to be alive every day, smiling when the sun comes up, all of that. Under the worst health conditions, this person has a healthy outlook. So LeBron James, I'm sure that he has a very healthy outlook, given that he's done everything he needed to do. He's got his family growing up. He's still married, and he's well paid. So what else does he have to worry about? I don't know if the Knicks can't afford to give up any players in the trade for LeBron. Well, there's another problem with LeBron. Anytime that he goes to another team, you pretty much have to gut the roster of the team that he's going to. In this particular case, I think you can cut some of those back-end guys and put them in there, but I don't think the Knicks would say no to LeBron James if he wanted to come. And like I said, I don't think Mike Brown would be the one running that team if LeBron did go there. So I wouldn't turn it down if I was the Knicks. But again, who would they get rid of? And LeBron, he's not going to take any pay cuts. He come with an expensive price tag, and I don't, like you say, JC, they probably couldn't afford him. But you got to try to figure out a way to make that deal work if they were to have that opportunity. Lex says, weren't the Pacers in the finals? That's dismantling. Well, you haven't been paying attention, Lex. First of all, before I say anything about the Pacers, did you see what happened with Milwaukee and Damian Lillard? They got rid of him and ate that contract. They spread it out. He's not going to be able to play this year, so it's not doing him any good. So they got rid of him. How you doing, Chris Bristol? So that leads to the Pacers. I think if Halliburton, if he comes back, they're going to get rid of him because he's not going to be able to play next year. And here's a guy that laid it on the line going out there playing when he knew he was hurt. And he's still going to get rid of it. Miles Turner is gone. So the big piece of that team was Halliburton. He's not going to be there. Miles Turner knows that, so he split. He went to Milwaukee. Go play with Giannis. So I don't expect to see the Pacers anywhere around this year. Boston, I don't know what they're going to do because they won't have Jason Tatum. So that opens the door for the Knicks. It opens the doors for Cleveland. And Miami and Orlando made a lot of moves. So who's to say what's going to happen? But yeah, don't expect Indiana to be anywhere in that mix. They injuries kill them. But they'll be back if they make the right moves. They'll be back in time. But that's why when you get to a championship round, you have to take care of business when you're there because you never know if you're ever going to get back to that position. There've been a lot of teams made it to the finals, and next thing you know, you don't hear from them for another 15, 20 years. Knicks are a great example. They were there for a couple years in a row. Went to the finals a few years, and all of a sudden they disappeared. You understand what I'm saying? I hope to think that I'm good, Mr. Bristol. I'm just on here trying to enjoy the sunshine like that patient I had, that passenger I had this morning. So I'm asking you guys, do you find yourself valuing sports more than what they're worth? And we do know that a lot of people, they actually do that. They think it's life and death because their team don't win a game. They start crying. Hell, I used to do that when I was a kid. Then I realized one day, man, what the hell I'm crying for? I'm not gaining anything from this. I don't get a paycheck for being a fan. I grew out of that a long time ago. I still like the teams that I like, but whether they win or not don't really affect me a whole lot. No, I talk some trash, and I'm going to get other fans riled up who may be on a different acceptance level than me. But care if they lose or not? No, because you're not really part of the team. You just identify with the team when you're a fan. The only ones that have an interest in that are the owners and the players and the players' family. If you're not a part of that, then you just out there making noise, and we're going to treat you like you're part of us, but you never really are. Yep, but Lex, they're going to dismantle the Pacers. All right, let's see. What else we got out here? Talked about Travis. I've been falling back from social media. My wife don't like it. So I face myself. Well, there's nothing wrong with sports videos, but now if you out there doing something else on social media, Jihad, then I can understand why she might have a problem with that. But you do what you got to do, man. But yeah, who's flocking around? It's another kid. I don't know how kids get on here. I must have made a mistake one day and opened it up for everybody, but this really is supposed to be a program not for kids. So if you're a kid there, flocking around, you need to go find you another place to go hang out. But anyway, I just want to come on and tell you about the passenger I had today. I do that ride share, and this is a person that was born with a bad heart. That bad heart is turning into 9-10 surgeries, and to correct the problem long enough to try to keep living. But now that has led to lung cancer and other ailments that she has. So the fact that this person here can go through all these ailments, all these adversarial events, and still have a smile on her face and work every day, that is a great testament. This is probably the person with the greatest spirit I ever seen. I know a lot of people talk about they got a good spirit, but I never actually seen it until I saw it today. And we were talking about this situation like we talking about sunshine or something. Who won the game last night? I mean, that's the way she was talking. She wasn't flustered than anything. She's accepted her positions, and it's incredible to. And it was just a 1 mile ride. Just imagine if we had gone 10 miles. I could have learned a whole lot about that particular situation. But I learned enough, and it hit me in the mouth. JC, you are Major League Baseball. Yeah, I keep up with baseball. I like the Cardinals. I always like the Cardinals and the Red Sox. Those are my two teams. Red Sox, they've been scoring a lot of runs lately. I don't know if that's because of they're playing against the Nationals or not. But the Cardinals, they kind of iffy. You don't know what they might do. But yeah, I keep up with it, but I don't watch it like I do football. I grew up as a kid. I used to watch it. We used to get the Braves games, and when they first come out with TNT, Turner Network Television, and I saw a whole bunch of Braves games over the years. So much so that I don't even watch it that much. It's like eating a certain kind of food for a long period of time, and then you just stop eating it because you had so much of it. That's my experience with baseball, or watching it anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I watch it. But I really, with baseball and basketball, I don't usually get too deep into that until you get into after the All-Star game. Once the All-Star game is over with, then I get deeper into that. So right now everybody's talking about the Astros, the way they've been playing lately. They've caught a lot of people off guard with their style, with the way they're playing. And now the talk is that they're going to go deep into the playoffs. Well, this is still July. You still got a couple more months before any of that can be determined. So I don't pay too much attention to that, man. But anyway, but yeah, man, I just want to tell you about this lady I met today, and she's got those born with the heart problems, had over 9 surgeries. Now she's got lung cancer because of the leaky valves, and one thing turns into the next. But you wouldn't know it by talking to this woman because she had the greatest spirit in the world, man, and I think it's great. Yeah, I've been noticing the Tigers. I try to play those parlays sometimes, and I can't get the Tigers, man. If I play them to win, they'll lose, and vice versa. But I do remember the Tigers from the 80s. That year they won the championship. They started out like 35-5. Chet Lemon and Jack, what was that pitcher name? Jack something. They were pretty good. I saw them play a lot of times. So yeah, I'm familiar with the Tigers. What I like to do is get up there one summer and check out the Tigers, man. I'm going on a tour to a baseball stadium once a month or something like that until you get all the stadiums covered. I've been to a couple of Rays games. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to a Rays game in a couple of weeks. I didn't know that they were playing their home games in Tampa this year because the hurricane blew the roof off. I remember that, but I thought they had all that fixed by now. Well, what they're actually doing, they're playing in the Yankees spring training home, George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. And I'm going to check that out. I ain't been to an outside major league game since I went to a Braves game before. Yeah, you're right, Jack Morris. I remember Jack Morris. That was 84. Chet Lemon. He was on that team, too. It was a pretty good team, man. But yeah, I follow baseball. I keep track of all sports. Matter of fact, I watch anything for a championship. If it's got if you got paint drying league and you got a championship, I'll watch that too. So that's just me. But anyway, I just want to come on for the second time today to talk about that and keep my eyes on this LeBron situation. Look like he's trying to muscle his way out of L.A. and I think he's going to go all the way into New York to finish his career out. Yeah, I'm a bigger football fan than basketball and a bigger basketball guy than baseball these days, but I watch all of it. Right now I'm trying to get into the Tour de France. I missed the day's stage. If you're not familiar with it, they got the two young guys still in there that won the last 5, and they're going head and head. Going into the day, they were 2 seconds apart. Now, it was only 2 stages, but as they start getting into those mountains, then you start seeing some real separation in that Tour de France, man. And they talk about doping in sports. That's one sport you need to keep an eye on because some of those hellacious mountains those guys have to climb, you got to be on something to keep going over those things on a daily basis for 3 weeks with only like 2 days rest. You can't tell me all those guys are clean all the time. I don't know, but I hope they are. And then another thing, they integrating these electric motors into these bikes too. So keep an eye on that too. But it should be a great race. And I think that both those two guys can get through stage 20 without falling and being out of the race, then that traditional ceremonial day where they all ride in the past, where there's no real competition, that goes out the window if those two guys are fighting for the championship, and that's what I like to see. But what I really like to see with the Tour de France, get rid of those teams, man, and let's see who the best rider is. Because a lot of times the guys on the team, they'll make a way for the guy, and right at the end of the stage, they'll pull off to the side and let the team leader go, and he get all the glory. The hell with that, man. If I'm riding up and down all the mountains, I want to win too, man. That's just my point of view on that. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the morning with whatever's going on in sports. Appreciate you chiming in with me. Some of you guys I hadn't seen in a while. JC, Chris Bristol, Flocky the Ram, whoever you are. Lex Kimmerlin, appreciate you stopping by. And Jihad, I hadn't seen you in a while. I'll catch you guys probably about 7:30 in the morning. So until then, have a great day, and I'll catch you on the other side. I'm out. Flocky.